Good morning, guys. It is the morning of the market, and I'm just starting off the morning by getting some coffee. We got our espresso machine in, and so I am going to make a latte. I've really enjoyed getting to make lattes and kind of just figure out how to do this. It's been so fun so far. Still have not figured out how to do latte art, but that's okay. Right now I'm satisfied with just a hot latte with whole milk, because whole milk is better to make lattes with. And then I'm just steaming the milk to get that foam for the top and adding it on top of my latte, adding a hint of vanilla in the espresso with some cinnamon on top, and it has literally been the perfect hot latte for the Christmas season. And so that's what I'm doing for the morning before the market begins. Good morning, welcome back to my channel. It is currently 5:45 in the morning. Today is a big day. It is market day, and I have been planning this day for about 3 or 4 months now, and so everything up until this point has been kind of like planning things through social media and through emails and text messages and contacts, and so finally get to see all of my work put together. But I wanted to hop on here this morning before the market and just give you guys a little scoop of like what it takes to host a market. And obviously this is only my first time hosting one, so I'm not an expert, but it still is a really fun process. And I feel like sometimes new things that we want to do just seem overwhelming. And so if you're interested in hosting a market, or you've always wondered the BTS behind just having a market, I'll just, share what I did. And obviously one way is probably not the best way, but it was something that was just so fun to do. And it's a very creative thing to do. And so the first thing that I would say you need to do to host a market is find a venue space. Obviously this was easier for me just because my mom and dad, they own their wedding venue, and so that was the venue space. And there were still challenges, just with the electricity and stuff, and making sure all the vendors that wanted indoors had their electricity spot. And obviously with each venue comes its challenges, but the first thing that you're gonna need to do is find a venue space or a piece of property that you could have a market like this. Because we are literally in the beginning of December, I had to have a space that was indoors, offered indoors, and obviously we still have vendors outside and all this other stuff, but it's gonna be like 54 today, and that's not really that cold for December, especially in the Midwest, so you never know what you're gonna get. But that's the first thing that you need. The second thing you need to know before you host a market is how much space that you can offer for the vendors. I had my dad help me with measuring, and he basically just wrote out a map for the venue space so that I knew how many vendors I could have inside and how many vendors I could have outside. The outside vendors wasn't very limited just because we have property with the venue, and so I could have had an unlimited amount of vendors. But with it being the beginning of December, a lot of people did not want to risk being too cold throughout the day, considering today is going to be from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And so that was a factor that we had to so that's what we did. We differentiated them between indoors and outdoors, electric and non-electric. And so that was cool. But it's going to be a fun day today. A lot of the work that I've been doing has been through social media, basically just ramping up this market for the past 3 or 4 months. And I honestly didn't even know that I had it in me to host one of these, but my mom approached me and said, hey, if you can event plan, we can do this. And so I was like, okay. And so we were literally on our way to the market that I took you guys along with me in Michigan at the Fountain Cottage Market. And I had literally just announced the day before about the Christmas market. And so the name of the market is called Christmas at Magnolia Woods because the venue is Magnolia Woods venue. And so I thought Christmas at Magnolia Woods would be cute. And I've had a lot of people tell me that it sounds Hallmark, like a Hallmark movie. So that's a very good compliment. But anyways, so today, what today looks like, we are going to go to the property at 8 a.m. because vendors are going to start showing up at 8 a.m. And so I might get there a little bit before. And basically just going to be directing vendors to their spots, helping them if they have any questions, and just kind of being there for that. And our market starts at 10 a.m. and it ends at 5 p.m. And so basically what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be selling the Magnolia, Christmas at Magnolia Woods sweatshirts that we made, and the tote bags that we made. And so I'm just going to be sitting there in the front, seeing people walk in and selling stuff. And that's going to be fun. I'm very excited. I was a little nervous a week ago. You know, you're like, oh, the market is in a week and a lot of things need to happen that can't happen really before then. And so what the work looks like closer to the market is you're doing a lot of extra, like going to your venue space, decorating it, putting tape down, putting labels down for the vendors so that they know which spots is theirs if you have your vendor spaces labeled. And then last night I went and stayed in the cabin to make signs for like the bathrooms and the horse and wagon rides and all that stuff. Let's go to the market. I want to thank Paw Smart for sending me this pet grooming vacuum kit. It is so neat. You can literally do your dog's hair at home if you're confident enough to do that, but it came with this little clipper thing that you put on the end of the vacuum kit that has different kind of clippers, and here is the vacuum out. It's got the long tube so that you can stretch and you plug it in, and here is another end that you can put on the vacuum to kind of suck up the hair, which I'm using today to suck up the couch. And then here is this pet clipper, which is super neat, and another filter, and it came with another end that can also be used to vacuum up hair. And so right now I'm just going to go to the couch and vacuum the couch because Remy does get on the furniture. And I just want to thank Paw Smart for sponsoring this part of the video. So first up, I'm going to show you our little buffet table. It had our logo on it, and then just kind of what it's looking outside. We did a little sign your name in sheet on the table so that we could keep track of numbers. And then on to the next one is just a little sneak peek of what the vendors had set up like. We did a little outdoor scape for people to sit down on. And here's just another sneak peek look of our table with our sweatshirts and tote bags. And my mother-in-law and nephew set up a hot cocoa bar so people could drink hot cocoa as they walked into the market, which was so sweet. People loved it. It was a hit. And then we also offered free horse and wagon rides, which was so fun and just so festive. And it was just so sweet seeing the horses as people were shopping and getting to walk around and seeing kids just light up. And then we also had a s'mores bar where people could put s'mores by the fire, warm up, and kind of just, have fun by the fire. Here's another look at the sweatshirts and tote bags. And then just going through the market, it was so pretty in the barn, very ambient and cozy. We also had a food vendor there that was selling all kinds of fudge and soups and sandwiches, and as you can see, people were just out walking around while others were doing horse and wagon rides, and it was just so fun and festive. And we had a lot of people telling us that it reminded them of something that was from a Hallmark movie, which was one of the best compliments ever, because me and my mom always loved watching Hallmark movies as I was growing up. So it was just so sweet to be able to sit there and watch people make these beautiful memories, people that I didn't even know who showed up to my event, our event that we planned. And it was just so sweet seeing the smiles and hearing those compliments, because you put things out like this out there and you don't really know who's going to show up or what's going to happen. We even had a photographer show up to take pictures of the event for free, and it was just so sweet. There were so many different kinds of vendors there, from house decor and vintage curated finds to people who made their own products like tallow balm, and we had Christmas wreath selling, we had food, Christmas candles, and just all the neat things. It was the perfect little intimate market, especially for our first one. We're so excited to be able to do this again next year, and it was definitely an experience of a lifetime.